we should have connected earlier in the morning, but that's completely fine. It was Monday. I was doing a lot of things and thought of connecting with you today. It's evening over here. It might be morning in India. Thank you so much for joining from India. Thank you so much for joining from Abu Dhabi. Few of you have been joined from Abu Dhabi, and I do get a lot of two or three messages from that region saying that Sufi, I would like to go on and I would like to talk a lot more around where we are failing. One of the learners has from Abu Dhabi has put it up a discovery call with me early in the morning today. That was the reason we are having this conversation a little later on. So thank you so much for joining. Hi, myself Sufi. I have around 6 years of digital experience. I have been teaching data. I have been teaching deep learning, data science, machine learning for quite a long time now for multiple clients. Why are we here over here? So I have, if you are going to be with me for next 10 minutes, let me just go on and tell you that I will give you a solution which you yourself don't know about to be job ready. Now, what does that mean by job ready? I have developed a product with my team for past 6 months that how I can solve my learners' problem so that they can go on and they can get started with their analytics and AI jobs as soon as possible. Because over a course of last 6 years, one of the major problems which I have seen is everyone knows Python, everyone knows SQL, everyone has done 10 projects, everyone has been applying for jobs, but one of the things which I personally feel is 1 out of 10 learners do get a job as soon as possible. Rest nine, they sulk a lot more, and they'll be like, I'm getting frustrated. It's been like 6 months, it's been like 12 months. Many of you have mailed me saying that uh, I am not getting job. What should I do? Where should I start? That is the reason I have developed one short platform called Mentoring for all of you, where you can go on and work with a learner for a certain period of time and become job ready. Now, what does that mean by job ready? Now, job ready has been required for all of you for quite a long time, but you guys are not aware about it. Let me just help you out with that. So now. I was working with one of the learners, and one of the learners felt like I am so I am I am doing everything right. I know Python. I can write it down Python a lot more better than what I was doing 6 months back. I have developed Power BI dashboards. I have developed regression model. Even sometimes I know a little bit about how generative AI works, like text to text models. I have not done any projects. I have built up my resume with ATS friendly. Where else I whenever I go on and I check my ATS scores is basically comes out to be 95, 96. Still, I'm not getting any interview calls. Correct. That is basically where the positioning and clarity comes in to become job ready. Now, what does that mean? Let me just go on and tell you. So let me just go on and tell you what I had earlier in the morning from the UAE individual who booked the clarity call with me today. He was like, Sufi, that's exactly the same point. Sufi, I have done probably 4 ML projects. I have been knowing a lot more ML algorithms like regression, clustering, PCA, a lot of algorithms I have been built. I have deployed that and I have put it up on my resume as well. I'm trying for past 3 months to go on into to land an ML jobs, but I'm not getting it. What should I go on and do that? The same thing happens with you. If you want to go on and start with the desired profile, you are not able to. Suppose you want to work somewhere in Abu Dhabi or in Dubai, you are not able to. Suppose I am myself here based out in California, and you guys are like, oh, I want to work in California with the companies like Meta, Amazon, but I don't know that. But what if I will go on and I will tell you that yes, you can now. You can go on, you can book the desired mentor which you want to work with. The mentor could be anything, could be work with Meta, Amazon, California, Abu Dhabi, in India itself, in AI. You go on, you talk to them, and just think, what are you gaining? You're gaining their experiences. Now they are going to go on and work with you one on one so that you can achieve your desired outcomes, correct? On an hourly basis, you can go on and you can do that. And this is what mentorings do. Now, come back to the story which I had in the morning. I'm keep coming back to that story. The reason behind that why I keep coming back is I think this is something which is really important. That guy came and he was like, Sufi, I would like to go on and I would like to start in machine learning. I have been working as a data analyst for quite a long time over here in Abu Dhabi, but the problem is my resume is not getting shortlisted. Whenever I go on and check with two or three major ATS platforms algorithms, it gives me 95, 96 kind of this thing out of 100, but I'm not getting it. I'm like, let me just go on and check it out. And that is where I'm not going to talk about what I have got in his resume, but my general thought process around that is the resumes do go on and fail at three stages, correct? When you go on and when you work with any of the preparing for interviews or preparing for any profiles, they go on and they fail at three stages. One is basically the ATS filtering stage. Second one is basically role mismatch, and third one is basically human attention. Let's go on and talk about what these three things which I come up in my mentoring sessions, which probably go on and help you as well. Now, what is ATS filtering? Now, the problem with ATS filtering is ATS checks the patterns. Now, what does that patterns? You go on and you put it up regression, logistic regression, Power BI, and everything. But the problem over here is not about the keywords. The problem here is the kind of knowledge you want to put it up. If you're not going to put it up, why you use regression? What is basically the outcomes around regression? How are we going to go on and what is the depth about that particular keyword which you have written down? The ATS go on and look for those patterns, and if those patterns are not there, even though it will go on and give you a good score, it is not going to go on and put it up to any of the individuals over there when we go on and when we work around with. Now, the second, like any of the recruiters, it might give you a good score, but it is not going to go on and filter out for recruiters, correct? That is one. Second, positioning. Now, what does the positioning means? Positioning is basically you guys have been applying for machine learning projects. You are showing that, okay, I have done clustering, I have done linear regression, I have done logistic regression, but you're not giving the business context. You're not saying that why and how that model has been affecting the production and what kind of business outcomes which you are generating from that, correct? You are not understanding that, okay, I understood, I have built a particular project, but when it comes to understanding the practical parts of it, correct, what is your involvement in that particular project, that is not coming out. The moment those things are not coming out, you're not going to go on and get the recruiters. See, when when recruiter comes and says that we only have 2 or 3 seconds to swipe right and swipe left, they are not talking about the Bumble or the Tinder. They are talking about your actual resume, and what they think is whether that person has specified any outcomes. Now, how do you specify the outcomes? It could be showing that how much the impact you have created with respect to numbers. So for an example, I always talk about how you convert your business problem into a data problem is something which is really important. And I do talk a lot more about my coaching as well, that creating assumptions, uh, creating multiple assumptions, cleaning the data, understanding how much impact you have been created. So, for an example, how much rain it is going to go on and happen might be the forecast, but over a period of time, how you go on and measure those things, that's something which will come in your depth of your resume. And this is something which I always go on and discuss in my mentoring sessions. So this is the second part which you go on and which you work around. The third part, which is really important, is basically how humans attention it grabs. Now you have good ATA score with keywords and why that keywords are there. Now you have the particular roles which are applying for an example ML, and you are going and you're discussing about those ML algorithms, that how the business impact is there. Now the human attention, what does the human attention looks like? So human attention is basically works about numbers. 70% of the impact. Human attention works a lot about the words which is going around AI. The human attention's a lot more around I have impacted the business when I provided 70% of my project, 70% accuracy for my project. My business has grown by 5% with this model. This all might you look like, okay, this is very single sentence, but just think around it. When someone has been having 10 resumes or 15 resumes after filtering, and they have been going and checking it out, obviously a lot more has been automated now, but HRs are still the human. When they call you, they go scan your resume and then they check. Correct. Many of the times, a lot of I don't want to name them, but they give them the filtered resume, so your resume doesn't come back. Now you're applying on Naukri, correct, or you're applying for any of the places. What was the last time you went and you updated your resume on that particular portal? Yesterday, today? When I used to search a job, I used to do it every day at 10 o'clock. So or 8 o'clock in the morning. Whenever someone goes on and see my resume, it should be updated. Correct. It should be updated with that particular version. I don't know whether it worked or not, but it gives me the subconscious programming that okay, I might get a call. Correct. Now, the moment you go on and you get a call, what should you talk about it? We will go on and we'll talk a lot more about that a little later on. But this is something, the three things which I have tried to see in the morning when someone, like one of the learners has booked the discovery call with me for half an hour. And that's what happens when you go on and when you take it out a mentor. You get clarity, you get positioning, and you get judgment with my experience. So with that, I would like to go on and I would like to stop it. If you guys are struggling to go on and get started with jobs, if you want to go on and start it from one place to another place, if you want to go on and work with the companies like Abu Dhabi, Dubai, or in even a top companies or top startups in India as well, uh, I think you required a mentor, because everyone in our life requires mentor, and that's what we do that. So for an example, if you're looking out for a quality mentor who can work with you for next couple of months, go on and book a clarity call, and you can go on and you can book your desired mentor with that particular with that platform. That's what I built that for all of you, and then probably with that we will go on and we will see you how we can go on and help you out with. So with that, I'm stopping my day 8 live, LinkedIn live and YouTube live. If you guys are struggling and wants to go on and put it up, that is completely free for all of you. Link in the comment. Go on and book your 30 minutes free clarity session, so that you can go on and you can get your desired outcomes not in 12 months but in 3 months. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.